Okay, so when you take it out of the box, this is all the parts that you get with it. Of course, here is the main unit, and here is the battery, and this just plugs into the unit like so, and clicks into place. You get two cleaning heads with it, bigger one, and here is the smaller one for like cars and you want to vacuum your mattress or different things like that. Crevice tool, and this is the multi-purpose brush. You got a brush on it, and you also have a sort of a crevice tool there as well. This is the cradle that you can attach to the wall. It comes with two different pieces. I just clipped them together and basically mount it on the wall like so. The attachments stick in the bottom here, and it just sets right into the cradle. Of course, you get a charging cord, and this charges right there in the front. Then, of course, here's your extension one. And these just plug in and then push the button to detach them. And of course, you get mounting screws for the cradle, and then you get some paperwork with it as well. All right, so once you put it all together, that's what it looks like. Sort of got a futuristic look to it. It's got a really big capacity container for the dirt there. And then if you want to clean it out, you just hit this switch and the bottom will pop out and you can empty it. It's got a nice color to it. I mean, cosmetically, the vacuum looks really good. And of course, that's the big head there. There's your Dyson ball. All right, so let's go through some of the pros and cons of this vacuum cleaner. For one thing, this has a lot of power. If that's one of the things that is a major concern, this definitely has good suction. I have mostly laminate floors. I think it's a bit overkill for laminate floors. I have a few throw rugs though, so if you have a lot of carpet, I think this would really be good for carpet. Okay, so on the top here you have your selector button as far as which mode you'd like to be in. The low mode is eco, and then you have a medium and also a boost. And as you can see, the battery indicator is different on each. So when you start it up, it will show you how much time is left on the battery. And if you switch, in eco, it runs close to an hour, so it's got pretty good time on that position. Even at eco, it's a fairly loud unit, and that's medium. And of course, boost, it's really loud. And once the battery goes down to zero, the vacuum just doesn't shut off. It will keep running, and you'll just see it at zero. It's in the red. So I guess that they figure that, you know, people might run it down to zero, but there's more power left. But once it gets to zero or close to zero, you should probably charge it. And as you can see, this does lay down flat. So if you need to get under beds or anything like that, this will be able to get under there. And it's got good maneuverability on the head because of the ball. So it's got really good angles. Now this, because of the size of this has a really big container for dirt. so you probably won't have to empty it as much. Attaching or detaching the attachments is very easy on this. So that's another great feature. So let's get into some of the cons of the vacuum. For one of the biggest cons I hate about this is the button, on-off button here, is you have to hold the button in while the vacuum is running. As soon as you let go of the button, it turns off. This is just kind of an annoying feature. I'd rather just have a regular on-off switch to it. Another big feature that was missing on this is there's no light on the head. I really like lights on a vacuum. I think it you can see where the dust is better, and you're able to see what you're vacuuming better with a light. So that's another big feature that is not on this vacuum. As you can see, I've got it leaning against the wall. It does not stand on its own. Once again, another annoyance. And this is also really top heavy. As you can see, I mean, obviously it's got a big motor in it. And, you know, the handle's really big. Of course, you've got the big container for a lot of dirt. So that it's a pro and it's also a con, because it makes the vacuum really heavy up top. And I would not consider this a lightweight vacuum. Not super heavy, but I would not consider it lightweight. Okay, and before I said it lays down so you can get under things. And that was a pro, but it's also kind of a con because of the big dustbin you have here. And obviously you have the big handle with the big battery. It doesn't quite lay as flat, and it's really awkward when you're trying to go under a bed or something like that, because it really sort of sits on your wrist at that point. And then the angle is like that, so you can't really like get a full 90 degrees out of it when you're going under something. So you're not going to go as far under as you would if this were a smaller container with a smaller handle. So just be aware of that as well. And it's really kind of awkward, like I said, when you're vacuuming at low angles, because the vacuum is really sitting on your hand at that point and your wrist. And one minor thing to mention, I talked about the maneuverability before. If you move the vacuum too fast and you like do an angle where the ball slides, and if you have like a laminate floor, it will put like a rubber skid mark on the floor. Now it's not permanent. These skid marks will clean up easily. You just take a wet towel, they'll wipe right off. Or even just with your hand, they'll wipe right off. But just so you know, because of the great maneuverability, once again, it's like a pro and a con. So if you turn too quick and the ball skids across the floor a little bit, it will leave a mark, but it is removable. Okay, so the overall assessment here is if this is a really great vacuum. If you're just concerned about power and basic vacuuming needs, I think it's great at that level. But for me, the power switch, not just turning on and off, no light, and not being able to stand on its own, those are three features that I just can't do without. So those are big negatives for me. And just the awkwardness of using it to go under things, it's I'm not really liking it for a lot of those things. But if you just need a basic stick with power, you have a lot of carpet, and you're not going to be going under a lot of things all the time, then I think it would be good for you.
Okay, this is the Dyson V11. I'm going to show you what all you get with it. Okay, of course you get the main canister there, dustbin with battery. You got your extension pole there, or your pole. You have your big roller. You have your smaller, I guess, dusting attachment. The other attachment is, I guess, for getting like pet hair and stuff up. That's what I'm assuming that one is. And of course this one here to get in your hard to reach crevices and corners, and probably in the cushions, under the cushions of the couch, or behind the couch, or behind the cushions of the couch is what I'm trying to say. And your battery charger there. And your battery, of course, is right here. And you get your wall mount right here. So you got your wall mount. So that's everything that came in the box. Okay, and there it is put together. And I'm going to give it a whirl real quick here. You see the, tells you your little face there. Tells you where you're at. How much time is left on the charge. In this case, it's 12 minutes and 39 seconds. But you can do a lot in 12 minutes and 39 seconds with this thing. What I like about it, and I always say this, I like that it picks up the things that you don't see. And it's got great swivel action. Really good swivel action. Really good. Picks up nicely. That's a piece of tape. I think it's going to pick that up. You get into those corners and those inner crevices, really good. Really great swivel. Alright. Look at that canister. It's picking up all that stuff that we don't see. That's crazy. That's crazy that we breathe that stuff. Now to empty it, all you have to do is pull this little trigger right there. See if I can do it with one hand and hold the camera. You gotta push it up. Nope, not gonna be able to do it like that.
I finally got my Dyson, and it has been the best purchase ever. It comes with a couple different heads, and I love that it has this little screen. It tells me, it has 3 different settings, and it tells me how long each of them, how long the battery will be. So, in just a second, there you go. So it tells you, as you go, how long you have left. And it works awesome, way better than my cheaper, a different brand, cordless one. So this is the best purchase I've made.
I don't know if it's a defect or if it's normal, but it has quite a bit of play. This attachment is really loose.
I love this material. It feels like a quick file for the floor. It's absolutely amazing. Comfortable, convenient, excellent.